as these Falcons get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Atlanta. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They go play action with Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
The things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
He's checking. Hey, kick it!
And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Play action. It's Ryan. And this one complete to Smith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 7, Ryan. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. Touchdown! Cordero Patterson. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are on the board here first in the season opener. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Their own 18-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing, Jones. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Now Jones. And Sanders has got it complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team run the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And an Eagle first down.
Back to throw. Jones. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. There's the first NFL catch for Devontae Smith. A very solid gain of 27. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Eagles, nothing.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. Through an opening, and there he goes. 30, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. The Falcon defense has a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick-6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
He'll try again. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. 7 yards, the pickup there. Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the 1st round, getting the start here, as we mentioned in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the 1st round, people are going to clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, maybe just kind of...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to it. And that's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Jannard Avery coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On third down, Ryan eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Jones on 1st and 10. Steps away to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Touchdown, Eagles! For Mac Jones, accuracy was more his calling card when folks were taking stock of the 2021 draft, but he's got a big arm as well, and he shows it off there. Elliott good on the extra point, and with it, his guys take the lead here by a point.
14, Falcons 13. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now Ryan. Smith with a first Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
And this is something you don't see too much of. Fullbacks trying to stretch the field. But he does a nice job there getting lost out in space and comes up with a really nice gain.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Flush to his right. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. A gain of 6 there on first. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Let's go deep, tight.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Kyle Pitts, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Jones now on first down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And Devontae Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. Escaping the pressure right. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this 2nd half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, there were 3 talking points at the half.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
And that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And as we check the next-gen stats, that play lasted just 2.7 seconds from beginning to end. Just not enough time to throw the football.
Sanders And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Miles Sanders, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Check.
Here's Patterson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, it's Patterson. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Falcons. Russell Gage, 63 yards. And now the Falcons are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Wilson.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Stop made by Marlon Davidson.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd and 7, Jones. Oh, there's Rager. A nice grab. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
First down.
They'll run with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At their 48-yard line.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On 2nd and 11 now. Jones flushed out right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. It's caught by Sanders. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now Jones throwing on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. That swung out wide to Sanders. And out of bounds right around the 20. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Again, he'll drop to throw. Open right side, complete to Reagor. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jones. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Off play action. Jones out to his left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth-quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
They'll run on first down. Patterson, and he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Ryan to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Ryan. Being chased out left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
29-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Well, agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
2nd and 2 at the Eagles' 14-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
You got refill. Rush in.
Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 9 at the 9-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a nice pickup there. It gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And this one is right through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
To throw is Jones. Into the hands of Sanders. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. Here's Jones. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Jones. Buying time to his left. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That one goes for 30 yards. Well, if you pull up his college highlight reel, you will see no shortage of great throws, and here's one in his NFL debut for big yardage.
And this is going to be a big test early in his career. How accurate can he be on throws like this?
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Elliott good with a PAT. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. That's caught by Pitts, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One last shot for Ryan. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Philadelphia, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.